Esthetician Written Study Guide Number 1. Please read your textbook for more information on each topic. Information is not limited to the one shown in this video. Look for your state's reference list for your written examination. Epidermis. Each of the 5 layers of the epidermis contains keratinocytes, immune cells, and intercellular fluids. Stratum Corneum Harden corneocytes, flattened squamous cells, melanin barrier layer, acid mantle, desquamation. Stratum Lucidum clear cells, thickest on the palms and soles. Stratum Granulosum production of keratin granules in cells, additional lipid production and excretion, desmosomes dissolved by enzymes. Stratum spinosum larger layer, cell activity, desmosomes created, lingering immune cells, melanosome pigment distribution. Stratum germinativum, also known as the basal layer, single layer of cells, cell mitosis, stem cells, Merkel cells, keratinocytes, melanocytes, and lipids are all formed and produced in this layer. Dermis, divided into 2 subdivisions, reticular and papillary. Fibroblasts and immune cells are found in these layers. Reticular layer, collagen and elastin, glands, blood and lymph vessels, nerve endings, intercellular fluids. Papillary layer, touch receptors, blood vessels, capillaries, dermapapilla. Appendages of the skin include hair, nails, sweat glands, and oil glands. Healthy skin is slightly moist, soft, smooth, and somewhat acidic. Sensation. Nerve fibers in the skin sense when we are touched. Different nerve sensors help us detect different sensations and perceive changes in our environment, such as heat, cold, touch, pain, and pressure. Protection. Skin is thin yet very strong, a protective barrier to outside elements and microorganisms. It has many defense mechanisms to protect the body from injury and invasion. Sebum, which is oil, on the epidermis gives protection from external factors such as invasion by certain bacteria. Heat regulation. When the outside temperature changes, the skin automatically adjusts to warm or cool the body as necessary. The body maintains thermal regulation through evaporation, perspiration, radiation, and insulation. Excretion. The sudoriferous glands, also known as sweat glands, excrete perspiration. Sudoriferous glands serve to prevent the body from overheating. The liver and kidneys do the detox work. Secretion. Sebum is an oily substance that protects the surface of the skin and lubricates both the skin and hair. Sebaceous glands, also known as oil glands, are appendages attached to follicles that produce sebum, oil. These oils help keep the skin soft and protected from outside elements. Absorption. Absorption of chemicals, hormones, moisture, and oxygen is necessary for our skin's health. The skin selectively absorbs topical products, serums, and creams through the cells, hair follicles, and sebaceous glands. Barrier function. Protective barrier of the epidermis. The corneum and intercellular matrix protect the surface from irritation and dehydration. Endocrine glands. Sweat glands found all over the body with openings on the skin surface through pores, not attached to hair follicles. Secretions do not produce an offensive odor. Epidermal growth factor, also known as EGF, stimulates cells to reproduce and heal. Intercellular matrix. Lipids, substances between corneum cells that protect the cells from water loss and irritation. What are lesions? Lesions are structural changes in the tissue caused by damage or injury. Any mark, wound, or abnormality is described as a lesion. The three types of lesions are primary, secondary, and tertiary. Or third type of lesions, vascular lesions. Vascular lesions involve the blood or circulatory system. Primary lesions are lesions in the initial stages of development or change, characterized by flat, non-palpable changes in skin color or by elevations formed by fluid in a cavity. Examples would be nodules, birthmarks, papules, or pustules. Secondary lesions are characterized by piles of material on the skin surface. An example would be a scar, crust, a scab, and fissure. Let's discuss some skin cancer facts. Skin cancer risk increases with cumulative ultraviolet sun exposure and is found in three distinct forms that vary in severity. Each form is named for the type of cells that are affected. Basal Cell Carcinoma, most common and least severe type of skin cancer, which often appears as light, pearly nodules. Characteristics include sores, reddish patches, or a smooth growth in an elevated border. Squamous Cell Carcinoma, more serious than basal cell carcinoma, characterized by scaly, red, or pink papules or nodules, also appear as open sores or crusty areas, can grow and spread in the body. Malignant melanoma, the most serious form of skin cancer, as it can spread quickly. Black or dark patches on the skin are usually uneven in texture, jagged, or raised. Melanomas may have surface crust or bleed. Let's get into some terminology. Actinic keratosis. Pink or flesh-colored precancerous lesions that feel sharp or rough result from sun damage. Bulla-Large blister containing watery fluid. Fissure-Crack in the skin that penetrates the dermis. Chapped lips, hands are fissures. Pruritus. It's persistent itching. Hypertrophy. It's an abnormal growth of the skin. Many are benign or harmless. Lentigo. Freckles, small yellow-brown colored spots. Lentigines that result from sunlight exposure are actinic or solar. Lentigo patches are referred to as large macules. Pseudofolliculitis, also known as razor bumps, resembles folliculitis but without the pus or infection. Retention hyperkeratosis, a hereditary factor in which dead skin cells build up and do not shed from the follicles as they do on normal skin. Sebaceous filaments, similar to an open comedones, they're mainly solidified impactions of oil but without the cell matter. Seborrhea is severe oiliness of the skin, abnormal secretion from the sebaceous glands. Eczema. It's an inflammatory, painful, itching disease of the skin, acute or chronic in nature, with dry or moist lesions. A verruca, also known as a wart. Hyperpigmentation is overproduction of pigment. Hypopigmentation is lack of pigment. Sun exposure is the biggest external cause of pigmentation disorders and can make existing pigmentation worse. Post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, also known as PIH, is darkened pigmentation due to an injury to the skin or the residual healing after an acne lesion has resolved. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and please consider subscribing. I cannot stress this enough. Please, please, please make sure that you are going back and rereading your textbook. Keep in mind that all the information that is in your chapter, I cannot fit in these short videos. These are simple study guides to serve as a review only. I hope you like them. As always, don't forget, keep going, keep growing, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.